in my room with all the windows and doors shut tight. But now I'm free. I can go where I want to be and know that everything's alright. Yeah. All right. Good morning, everybody, and to everybody, a good morning. First and foremost, want to welcome you to Coffee Time. Um, it's one of them days. Woke up with so many things on my mind. Woke up this morning with answers. Woke up this morning, not sorry, not lit, but ready. And I think the difference between being lit and ready, that there are mornings that I wake up, I am literally on fire. But then there are mornings that I wake up and I'm just ready. And that's what today is. I woke up this morning with answers to common problems. I woke up this morning with insight. I woke up this morning ready to set ablaze and afire anything that has been eating away at me, and I have the solution for that thing moving forward. So, have the solution pretty much for everything, but some of this stuff with Facebook, um, for whatever reason, the algorithms have changed, and because the algorithms have changed, um, it has hindered my performance in terms of my videos. So I'm going to ask, if you don't mind, please, ma'am, please, sir, if you don't mind sharing this video, maybe share it with a friend and inviting somebody. So if you're going to share it, of course, you go to your page and you hit the arrow, and then it's going to ask you, where do you want to share it to? And it'll give you the option to do so. However, I'm not going to wait on the numbers to start, but I want to talk about the crippling effect of procrastination, the crippling effect of procrastination. So, procrastination is one of those things that many of us, we don't really understand, but it's rooted in fear. Um, it's generally the fear of the unknown. There are so many. There are so many things that we fear, and we don't recognize we fear. And procrastination, believe it or not, is the fruit of fear. Procrastination is the fruit of fear. Everything has a root. To every root, there will be fruit. Most people procrastinate and they hide behind preparation, they hide behind prayer, they hide behind tangibles, things they can explain, they hide behind things, intangibles that they can't explain. And the reality is, every time you procrastinate, you push your soul in a place where it is disconnected from producing fruit. You train your soul and you train yourself to believe based on your actions. So most people don't have any actions because, and they never will. That's the whole thing. They never will, because they spent a great amount of time feeding procrastination. Whatever you feed will grow. I'm going to say it again. Whatever you feed will grow. If you feed fear, procrastination, it becomes stronger than the faith to believe to accomplish. How do you feed it? You give yourself to it. Um, it's for 30 days, you wake up and you take a walk. Where after 21 days, walking becomes a habit. The 9 days that makes it 30 following the 21 strengthens what you've already put in motion and habit form. And the average person put in motion what they really believe. Most people have not developed the intestinal fortitude to trust themselves. So they're very creative in planning, they're very deliberate in research, they are brainiacs, but they've never developed the muscle of doing. And when you only have a piece of the process, you're going to miss the job. It's like making coffee. I have that beautiful machine back there. It grinds the coffee. It adds the water. I hit a button, and whatever button I hit that or press, that's going to be the type of coffee that it makes. But after I press the type of coffee that I want to make, I have to hit start. So I can do everything on that my coffee machine. If I do not hit start, the process is incomplete and I will never have coffee. Most people do everything that needs to be done, but do it. Yeah, they do the research, they prayed, they talked to people, they made great connections. They'll tell you how the Lord blessed them. They'll tell you how the Lord gave them favor. They'll tell you how the Lord has opened up a door. All of that is there. They won't put it in motion. And then if they put it in motion, and here's where a lot of people gets tripped up. If they put it in motion, they won't be consistent with it. So consistency is the fruit of your faith. Consistency is the fruit of your faith. The reason you keep going is you keep believing. The reason you stop believing. And you can stop believing for a mirage of reasonings. You can stop believing because uh, maybe your plan changed, maybe your topic changed, maybe the people you work with changed, but you stop because you stop believing. Now here's the other thing that hides behind procrastination. It's fear, and fear is the cousin to being lazy. You never develop the strength of going if all you're doing is planning, and you never uh, develop the strength of completing if all you do is start. So I don't want to spend, the majority, because this is not going to be a long coffee time at all. I've got about 5 more minutes and I'm done. I don't want to spend a large time on stating the problem because I believe we know the problem. We know we're the reason. But I want to give you um, some things to do to break the back of procrastination. The first thing that I think, the first thing that I believe we have to do is there's a level of honesty and truthfulness that we have to lend to the situation. Most people procrastinate, but they hide and call it, well, I had to change this or change that. No, no. How many times have you started something and you've not completed? So no matter what the reason is, you're procrastinating. Self-discovery, being self-aware is going to be the key to you overcoming any obstacle in your life. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. I've allowed fear to stop me. Take all the mask away. Take all away all the things that you've called it. It's fear. Faith requires doing. Fear requires stopping. Now, there are times when we stop to regroup, but there is a continual activity of what we said, and we always come back. If you've never come back to it, then you created a lifestyle of procrastination that is birthed from fear. Let me read Proverbs 6:9 through 11, and I'm going to continue in giving you some things that you can do to overcome this. It says, "How long?" And I'm reading from the NASB 1995 version of the Bible. "How long will you lie down, O sluggard? When you arise from your sleep, A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. Your poverty will come in like a vagabond, and your need like an armed man. What this scripture is talking about is it's talking about when you hear that word sluggard, it's talking about procrastination. In the garden, when God created everything, there is one pause that God did in creation. The Bible says that he stopped creating the earth because he had no man to till the ground, meaning God had created a lot and he stopped because he so cared about what he created that he needed someone there to be responsible for his creation. So there was a pause. After he created the man, he finished the earth. The man was managing the ground before he brought the woman to the set. I'm not talking in regards to relationship this morning. I am talking in regards to principle of finish. Notice what God did. He wouldn't finish the earth until he had a man to manage it. After he created a man and put the man to work, he finished what he started. The woman doesn't come to the scene until everything is done. Many of us pause because we hide behind Christianese. I need to pray some more. There's something missing, or the Lord. No, no, that's not your problem. Your problem is fear set in. It didn't look like what you thought it was going to be. You didn't get the response you thought you should have gotten. And as a result of that, you quit altogether. So it begins with telling the truth. That's the number one thing that you need to do to overcome procrastination. Procrastination is delayed obedience. It's a time thief that disguises itself sometimes as rest. Um, it's a silent enemy of purpose and destiny. And I'm just doing a recap because I've given you the first thing you need to do. First thing that you need to do is tell the truth, self awareness. Uh, Common causes of procrastination, of course, is the fear of failure, perfectionism. Yes, you got to wait till everything is right. Laziness and complacency, distractions and a loss of focus. A lot of us fall in that category, a loss of focus, and double-mindedness. Um, Romans 12:2 teaches us that transformation starts with changing our mind. That's what renewing of the mind is. It's a change of heart. Causing that mind to be renewed means you believe the same, but the proof of your belief is what you've put in motion. So if I'm going to renew my mind and change the way I think about whatever it is I'm supposed to do, it begins with starting and being consistent. Consistency, when you've been inconsistent, is how we are able to tell that you've had a mind renewal. Now, there are two levels of conviction. There's moral conviction, and then there's godly conviction. They look just alike. They look just alike. The only difference between the two, between moral conviction and godly convictions, is what you do next. The feelings and the emotions of not completing, feeling like you've let God down, let yourself down, let your family, friends down, whatever, not reach your goal. All the feelings are in both. When you are godly sorry, the heart is changed and the feet begin to move towards what the heart is repenting or repentive for. So you change your course of action. Um, so the first thing you got to do is tell the truth about where you are, what you've done. The second thing that you can do to break procrastination is break large tasks into small assignments. Um, I'm getting ready to launch a series. It's dedicated. The focus is really women, and in this series, there's a journal that I created to help women start their day. This journal that I created, it's a 30-day journal, and it was the longest project that I've ever had to do because I had the vision of what I wanted to do in terms of the journal. I know exactly how I want it to look. I know who it's for. And there's a scripture and a word of encouragement every day. And then there are notes on the side. Well, it took me the longest to complete it because I had to break it down because there are other things that I have going on. So here's what I did with the journal. My job was to write 1 point, not a day, 1 point a week. Now there are at least 30 points, 1 point a week. So what I begin to do is Monday, I think about the point, write it down. Tuesday, marinate on the point. Wednesday, pull out of the points that I felt were most valuable. Thursday, find a scripture that echoes the point. Friday, finish the point. It's the ability to break big tasks down into small and make it attainable for you to complete. Completion, completing is the goal. And I will not allow anything in me to go against what I've said I'm going to do. A part of me said, boy, you should be able to do a point a day. Well, realistically, I felt like I should have too, but I had done nothing. So bracing myself and simplifying the task to do 1 point a week, yes, it took me longer to complete it, but now I'm finished. I got it done because I did it in sizable portions without ruining the other thing my hands are in. The third thing, the first thing is tell the truth. The second thing is break large tasks into daily assignments. The third thing is discipline over emotions. You have to do it even when you don't feel like it. If it requires you staying up, losing rest, do it. If you're breaking it into a sizable portion, it's not going to take you that long to complete. You can dedicate 5 to 10 to 15 minutes, no more than 15 minutes a day or a week in completing a portion of your dream. And that's discipline over emotion. Ecclesiastes 11:4 says, He who watches the wind will not sow. Here's the application of that. If you're busy watching the wind, you would never pay attention to the ground and it would demobilize you and you would never plant the seed. You have to commit to execution. You cannot allow anything to become so big in your day that you don't execute on the thing that you've already broken down to make it a sizable task. Now, those are the physical things that you need to do. Here's the second part. And once I complete this part, I'm done. Um, you have to pray and fast for clarity and focus. Some of this stuff that we're coming against in ourself is not something physically, um, it's not a physical problem, it's a spiritual problem. You're carrying the spirit of procrastination that was given to you by birth through your bloodline. It could be your parents, your grandparents, or your great grandparents. It's somewhere in your bloodline, even if it skips a generation. So, what you're fighting is not physical, it's spiritual. How you think, how you process. There's a spiritual element involved in that. And you can do all of the natural things. If you don't conquer this thing in the spirit, you will still be bound by it. So you have to commit to prayer, communing with God. It's not just the prayer petition. It's also the prayer of allowing God's will to be done in your life. Don't just go in the presence of God talking about what you need. Spend time just loving on Him. Spend time in His presence telling Him how great He is, how wonderful He is. Spend time in His presence reading His word, especially when it comes to your mind, and speaking that word out of your mouth loud enough for your own ears to hear you say it. In that prayer and fasting time, your greed as it relates to your appetite is tied to the disciplined nature of your tongue. Now, the book of James says when the tongue is out of balance, the whole body is out of whack. If you want to develop a greater discipline in any area of your life, it begins with your tongue. What you say, what you don't say, what you eat, what you don't eat. The tastings, the appetites of your life is driven by your tongue. If you get your tongue under control, you can control your entire body. The other thing that I would advise you to do, because some of this, of course, you're dealing with is spiritual. You have to say what God has said. You have to say what God has said. Now, in saying what God has said, you need accountability with what you're speaking. This is where I believe the Bible don't talk about coaches, but the Bible does talk about partnerships. You need to be in partnership with people, even if you have to pay for it. You need to be in partnership with people who have fruit to what they've done and can push you beyond, watch, the weight that you've been lifting. I used to lift weights. Yeah, I did. I was in the best of shape, the best fitness, muscles everywhere. Well, it was because my trainer was able to help me break the ceiling that I had reached with myself. I could not go beyond where I was without my trainer. My trainer, his name was John Cruz. He's going home to be with the Lord now. My trainer pushed me beyond me. He became my partner in my goal of the size that I wanted to be and the muscle that I wanted to carry. He became my partner to help me reach my goal. If you look from Genesis to Revelations, you're going to see partnerships. The first partnerships that we see on this side is when God pulled the woman out of the man. He pulled that woman out of the man, and that woman had a vision of the man that he did not have, because with her being locked in him, she saw parts of him that he didn't see. So partnerships are necessary to hold you accountable, and there should be a financial investment. What you don't pay for, your heart will not respect. And this is why when the Bible talks about money, it says uh, uh, when we give, giving is connected to our heart. We'll spend thousands of dollars for equipment that we only use once, softwares, computers. We are a gadget generation and we invest in gadgets. But when it comes down to doing the work, we're so overwhelmed and out of budget because of the gadgets that we will not properly invest in partnerships to get us over. If you get a partnership first before you buy anything, I guarantee you it's going to save you money, save you time, and help you reach your goal. All right. So, what I want you to do today, here's your takeaways. I want you to declare war on yourself. I want you to verbally reject stagnation and cycles of putting things off. Second thing that I want you to do is set a deadline and honor it. Third thing that I want you to do is celebrate progress, not just completion. Let me say that one again. Celebrate progress, not just completion. The goal is the end. Correct. But you can't get to the end without taking steps daily. Every day, when you take a step and you've done something towards the completion, I want you to spend time celebrating yourself. All right, let me give you this last thing here. You cannot conquer what you refuse to confront. Break the back of procrastination before it breaks the future God has planned for you. So, the future that God has planned for you cannot happen without your partnerships. Remember, I talked about partnership. God is in partnership with you. This is why the Bible tells us that we're joint heirs. With Jesus. Jesus did his part, and the part that Jesus did set us up to be able to have victory and walk in authority and power. Even though the authority and the power has made or been made available to you, you cannot attain it until you do it. In order to release the power, power is released through production. You don't know the power you have until there is a need that puts a demand on the power. So you can't say he's giving you power to heal the sick and you never laid hands on somebody that's sick. You see the power when you are faced with the problem. Hopefully you got something out of this. Listen, you were born to win, predestined to succeed. There's nothing that can happen to you today that the wisdom in you cannot handle. You've got to slow down, relax, use emotional intelligence, trust God, and listen to wisdom. When you listen to wisdom, you will always win. Think higher, speak life, seek wisdom. Stay strong. I love you. If you would like to sow into this teaching, into this ministry, you're able to do so. The Cash app is on the screen. It's $ sponsor coffee time. There are those of you who have never sown financially, but you've taken the jewels of wisdom that I've provided and you've not taken a moment to just give back. Help me the way that I'm helping you. Your seed helps me reach more people in a multiplicity of ways. I can't do it without you. So please take a moment. If it's $50, $100, $1,000, 100,000. Notice I didn't say 5, 10. You say, well, that's all I got. That's because it's a lack of discipline on your part. You can produce more than that. Start today, do something different, and you'll get something different. So today, I appreciate so to the point that it causes you to stretch what you have because you're sowing into your future. I appreciate you. Thank you. Have a great day, wonderful Friday, and a happy weekend.